Daniel traded. How much? How much Daniel traded?
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. And it's 5 parts to my speech tonight. The first part is choosing a partner. Now, I actually forgot to do this, so I've just asked Gary via a written message, so thank you, Gary. But it will be a true role play. The second part of my speech tonight will be explaining the negotiation process. The third part is the scenario. The scenario tonight for the role play is I'm a general manager of a steel company and I'm trying to get Gary to join my company. The fourth part will be the role play. And the fifth part, for a couple of minutes at the end, will be an informal discussion where I'll open it up to Gary and the audience just to give some feedback, what I could have done better, what you thought we did really well, etc. So, types of negotiation. We've got the win-win, the win-lose, or the lose-lose. Now, win-wins where both parties are satisfied. We've all been there. You've had a great deal, you're happy, the shopkeeper's happy, you're high-fiving, thanks very much. You're taking your iPod or iPhone down the road, you've got a fantastic bargain. Win-lose where one partner wins at the expense of the other person. Or lose-lose where you actually come to an agreement but you feel a bit dissatisfied. No one's really won. Now, who here has purchased a car before? Pretty much, I think, most people. So you need to know what you want. And knowing what you want is really important. When you go and buy a car, stop by saying, well, I need a car with 4 wheels. Really, you need to know what type of car. Is it going to be an automatic, a manual? Would you like tinted windows? If you walk into a car yard and the salesperson asks you what you want, you go, I'm not too sure. You're probably not at a great starting place, are you? Knowing what the other person wants. You're in the car yard, well, guess what? The person wants to sell you the car. They want you to buy something, he wants to, or she wants to hit their figures. They want to get you to buy the first thing they show you. Now those two things there, my wife and I don't go shopping together because we went to probably 10 shops once and she went back to the original shop to buy a pair of shoes. So we agreed, it was a win-win situation, agreed never to go shopping together again. And to this day I've never gone clothes shopping with my wife. I go food shopping, but we learned a big lesson that day. Knowing your options. Now, to develop a win-win strategy, you need to know what the alternatives are. For example, the car. I bought my last car, I went to buy a Golf, I actually walked out of a T1. My heart said, I want to get a Golf, but actually my head purchased the T1 because it was higher, and when I actually really sat down with the salesperson, he explained it was more of a family car, it was bigger, better value for money, etc. And it was a win-win situation. Leading the discussion. Now, in a win-win scenario, the text tells us you need to lead the discussion. You need to try and get your point across and engage with the opposite person and understand the benefits so you can actually come out of it winning. Now, some tips for everybody who's been in negotiation situations before. Break the ice. So, how was your day? What's the weather like outside? Use I statements. We use this quite a lot in Toastmasters. I really enjoyed your speech. It's my personal opinion. I statements are very good. Be honest and direct. If you're going to buy something, there's no point actually trying to be clever about things. I buy millions of dollars worth of printing for my job, and I'm actually open and direct and honest with my suppliers, and I feel I get good service. But suppliers know when I ask them for a really good price, I need a price for a certain client, and there's other times where there's a bit more markup for them, and it's a win-win situation. So I can't see through this, I'm really backwards. Show appreciation. Now, if you get a really good deal, thank the person. Who here has ever said, I've only got $5 for a coffee, and the coffee's $5.50, I'll pay you tomorrow? I've done it. Thank the person. Any deal you do where you know you've got a fantastic bargain, or someone's done you a favour, thank them. Stick to the issue. Make sure you get your 2 sugars in your coffee. And timely discussion. Now, timely discussion is very important. You don't want to digress and go off on tangents and start waffling on about other stuff. You've got an objective to achieve, and make sure you hit it. So I'm going to move on and ask Gary to come and help me. Please welcome Gary. Now, to set the scene, I'm meeting Gary in Gary's favourite coffee shop, and it's very quiet in the coffee shop. Hey Gary, good to see you again. Thanks for coming down. I really appreciate it.
G'day Dan, how are you?
Yeah, fantastic. How's your morning been so far?
Oh, very well. Very busy, but
Excellent.
good to see you.
Oh,
You've
fantastic.
been once my favourite coffee shop.
Oh, fantastic. I've taken the liberty of ordering your favourite latte.
Oh, it's very thoughtful of you.
No sugar?
Correct.
Fantastic. Excellent. Now, I wanted to meet you face to face, Gary, because obviously this is the third time we've met, and we had a discussion about the salary. I can only match what you're getting today, but I really want you to join my team. You know, I've spoken to a lot of people in the industry. They've really praised you. I've heard you're a hard worker. You're honest. There are lots of traits that, I suppose, in trade and steel manufacturing, we would welcome you with open arms. And I just wanted to ask you, is there anything that we can discuss today that can obviously bring you over to the company?
Well, I'm interested that you open up the dating by saying you can match the wage I'm currently on, but if that's where we're at, that's where we're at on that. But just thinking forward to where my personal circumstances are at the moment, as you know, I'm busy with my 3 young children, and it'd be somewhat helpful if I could have a starting time a little later, so I could take them to school and perhaps pick them up from school. So I'm perhaps looking to work outside the normal 9 to 5 hours. Could you accommodate that type of thinking?
Potentially, yes, we could. Obviously, at your level, coming into the business, we could look at that opportunity. What I actually wanted to talk to you about also was, obviously, you're living in Narry Warren at the moment. We're actually moving to Narry Warren. I know you work in Werribee. It's taking you 2 hours. So I wanted to sort of just let you know we are moving literally 10 minutes around the corner from you. You can walk to work. We do have the private healthcare as well. And as I said, it'll be a fantastic opportunity for you to join our company. The career progression in the organisation is just about to sign a multi-million-dollar deal, and there will be a bonus on offer if you did join. What do you think about that?
So the bonus is dependent on this multi-million-dollar deal?
It's actually signed, it's off the record, I have signed a confidentiality agreement.
What sort of company is this? We're a coffee shop. What is competitor? Sorry.
There's no one here, Gary. Just you and I in a coffee shop.
Sorry. Okay.
But the question I need to ask you is, could you see yourself working for trade and steel manufacturing in the future?
I could, but it seems to be a lot of me give and you take at this point. I've got to go home to a family, so I've started this new job. Well, where's the upside? I walk to work.
Well,
and I'm...
That's a really good question. I did work out, I looked on Google Maps and actually worked out that you can save yourself $7,000 per annum just by walking to work and not driving to Werribee every day. Right. So straight away, obviously I'm matching the salary.
Oh, that sounds
so it is a slight pay rise.
That sounds encouraging.
And the private healthcare as well?
The private healthcare. And I think in the second meeting you explained the career progression that we could map out once I started, which was certainly...
Well, that's great. Obviously there's a small team, I like to manage. And I hear you're very good with people.
Yep. So can I go away and think about this, or do you have an answer today?
Well, I'm actually looking for an answer on Monday.
Oh, okay.
I need to go to the board on Monday and actually, I suppose, work out and sign off on the final package for you. Obviously, just to get that approved, the career progression, and also the flexi time that you asked for as well. And so if I spoke to the board and got everything across the line that you've asked for so far, could you see yourself hypothetically joining the company?
I think I could.
That's fantastic. I really appreciate it. So obviously, being lunchtime, I'm happy to buy you chicken lunch today. What do you look like to eat?
Chicken and avocado sandwich.
Fantastic. Well, there's no loads to celebrate, and we can move on. Thank you. Okay. So that was quite an impromptu role play. I think one of the things I would open up and say is maybe prep up your partner if you're doing a role play in the future. Unfortunately, Gary didn't have a clue what I was going on about. Is any comments or any improvements that people could?
I think the singer did it.
Pardon?
I think the singer did it. The sandwich.
The sandwich, yeah. Nicola?
Is there a reason you didn't start with what would be Gary's preference? For example, in negotiations, I would perhaps almost lay a trap for him. So rather than him to sell the role, letting him tell you what he needs, because
That's good. Yeah, good point.
he might be willing to walk for that salary. He might have a boss he doesn't get on with.
Yeah.
He's desperate to leave.
I did ask him in the second interview. That's a very good point. Anybody else?
And I think the point here is there's perhaps a little bit more talking from you and a bit more listening. I think this is something that's what.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Thanks very much.
Great.
Cheers, Derek.